Never say never. Forever is a very long time. There's a fine line between love and fate.
You're not as on point as you think you are. You're not even as thorough as people think you are. You miss the mark.
You gotta humble yourself.
Often.
Yeah.
Right? That's in my prayers every morning. God, I missed the mark today.
Yeah.
And it could be something as simple as not having compassion.
Oh.
Right? It doesn't have to be something that's so insidious. It's, I can never tell anybody that.
Right.
It could be something as simple as having a hardened heart to somebody suffering.
Right.
You know, that's missing a mark. We're supposed to love our brother as we love ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? And if you can't do that, you are missing the mark.
Yeah.
Back to ethics.
Back to ethics, right? So we had this conversation about ethics. Y'all missed it. The other song was Fluid Emotionz. And I start off by saying, imagine a world with no division, no addiction, no strife or rumors of wars. Is that even possible? But you know what? If you believe it, you can receive it.
Yes. Yes.
And I always say, if it's in my mind's eye to do it, then God will give me the provision because he's given me the vision. And so when I wrote that song, I truly believe that if we come together collectively as one people, then we can accomplish so much. So I can imagine a world with no division, no addiction, no strife or rumors of wars. That's what I think about in my alone time, right? And so if I keep permeating positive thoughts, they're going to be connected. How often have we done in this interview that I said something that you were thinking?
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
Or I said something, you were like, yo! Right? That's because the collective mind is at work right now.
Yep.
Right?
They do that practice in India where they
Yes.
just sit down.
Yep.
A bunch of people just sit down and just collectively have the same energy.
Yeah.
And they reverberate that exponentially.
Yeah, they do. And it gets, as an artist, and you probably can relate to it, and probably every artist who's listening to me can relate to this. As an artist, you are so in tune, eventually,
Yes.
to energy of music, of notes, the sounds around you. You can start hearing people's thoughts before they speak.
Absolutely.
Very true.
Look, I know my saying sound weird, but I can read minds sometimes. Nothing on demand, but if I'm kind of in a room, I know exactly what you're thinking. If I bring that, they can like, how'd you know that? I'm like,
Felt
look,
it.
Yeah.
whether I feel it or I intuit, whatever it is, it always amazes me how that happens. And it's a conscious artist who can sing about that. Because that's a gift we all have. We just not tapping into it.
Right.
And if we did, we would be more whole, more grounded, more connected to each other. And then you won't miss the mark with compassion, would you?
That's right.
You wouldn't miss the mark for compassion. You wouldn't miss the mark for service. You wouldn't miss the mark for leadership.
Yeah.
You wouldn't miss it.
Yeah.
So the song Jagged Edge is not about some tawdry thing that I did or didn't do. It's more about acknowledging that every day I'm accountable for being on point. And when I miss the mark, I have to acknowledge it so I can get back on it.
Yeah.
But if I don't know I missed it, then I'm going to always continue to be further and further away from the mark, which will never get me to my dream. And that fire won't continue to burn.
Right. Yeah.
So I got to keep my fire burning so I can breathe, y'all. I got to stoke the flames.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah. So we said it in the last one. How much that's one of my favorite songs on there, largely because of how you flipped those lyrics to "Walked Out of Heaven," and made it your own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And made it something. Honestly, I mean, I'll be honest. I feel like it's even more powerful because of the message.
Yeah.
Of really like you said, tapping in. You know what I'm saying, and acknowledging those moments where you could do better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and you could reach for higher.
Yeah.
You know?
There's always an opportunity to do better. Now that I have shown the world that I can do other things besides sing other people's music, now it's like, Steph Singz, who is she?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be like, I don't know. I still have to discover that. And so maybe that's going to come out with my second or third project.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to doing. The producer was like, you got to start doing some new music. I'm like, this CD is not even a month old yet. He was like, you have to start. And I'm like, okay, so now I got to get a budget to go to South Carolina. But one of the things good is we have such a synergy. Mm-hmm. He already has the music. He could what I did was I told him to give me some music that I can start writing to.
Yeah.
And then I'll try to go and knock out maybe 3 songs in one session. Because we have done that.
Yeah.
To create new music. But now that I've found my voice per se, I get an opportunity to play with it, to fine tune it, to, but here's one thing that's not going to happen. And it's not a never say never.
Okay.
What's not going to happen is I'm going to revert back to putting a mask on. Because I'm already out of the box now. I can't go back in.
Yeah.
I'm here now.
Pandora is out.
It's out. I'm already out.
Right,
So
yeah.
my sound is already starting to get some momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I hear, the feedback is pretty good. Except for the feedback that wasn't. So I had this email. And it was kind of comical. And my feelings actually wasn't hurt. And I think that was a growth moment for me. Because I really understood now that my gift is a gift. And it has nothing to do with somebody else liking it or not liking it.
Yeah.
It has to do with somebody resonating with it to move them to a different place that they want to be. So it has nothing to do with liking it. And the person said in big, bold captions, "The truth hurts." And I'm thinking, what is this? I clicked on it, and it was like, if I could be a cartoon, let me tell you something. You from Philly, but you really can't sing, and I'm from Philly. I know music. You sound horrible. You don't even know your notes, and you sing off key. And I'm thinking, wow, well, that's different.
Yeah.
And I wrote back in my artist stance, I'm sorry you feel that way. Your reality is not my reality. However, I appreciate what you have to say. Maybe your words would be beneficial for someone else who actually cares what your reality is, but mine is pretty settled. Thank you and have an awesome Thanksgiving.
That's what I'm talking about. Wow.
That's what I wrote back.
Wow.
Something to that effect. But it was not brash or it wasn't mean. Mm-hmm. And at that moment, I believe that I did not miss the mark because I could have. Who you think you're talking to? You don't know me like that. I'm from Philly, right? I could have went on it like that.
Let all the Philly come out.
Right, all of it. Look, here we go. Call the cousins. Take the other earring up.
Beat down time.
Right? Put some Vaseline on your face. Jill, you know how we did it? So, yeah. And so that didn't sway me at all.
Yeah.
In the past, I would have been crushed.
Yeah.
Because I would have been, my sense of self was based on feedback from outside of myself. Now my sense of self is based on my internal conviction as well as my internal barometer, whether it feels good or it doesn't feel good. Yeah. And I judge that based on what's most authentic. Right. And I recognized that comment was coming from an angry place. It had nothing to do with me. I'm thinking, wow, maybe they're a songwriter and never got their shot. Maybe they're a singer and never,
Take their wrath out on you.
Right.
But I didn't receive it. I was like, boing, boing, boing. I don't like my superpowers. Like, boing. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. No weapon formed against
Hit him with the old school joint. I'm rubber, you're glue. Everything that
Exactly. That is so true. That is so true.
Yeah.
So when I talk about finding my voice, there's a song there called Stability. And Stability is one of my favorite songs because it's actually a conglomerate of 2 songs that you never got a chance to hear. And I was saying, Nike, I think that this song should kind of recapitulate all of it. And so this was my plan. Yeah. My plan was to take a few words from every song and make a song out of it. I'm like, that is so ingenious.
It really is.
And he was like, Mama, that's not working. And so that was the idea. And so you actually have 2 hooks.
Okay.
If you
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You have 2 hooks, and that's why.
Okay.
But it worked.
Yeah, it did.
And I'm like, you know what? Just put them both together. It worked. And so how do you call it? I'm sorry. An inclination of me trying to put all those songs together. You hear the lyrics.
Can you hear? Can you feel? Can you see everything I have shown you? Emotions are a secret tongue, only for the ears of the awoken. A spoken truth from the roof of my mind and the depths of my...
But I referenced the song Awoken. Right?
When I heard Awoken,
Yep.
I was like, oh, that goes back to
Yep,
stability.
there you go. Yeah,
It's
so
like
there's a song,
interconnected web.
Awoken. Exactly.
I hear the bass in your voice. It never sounds like noise. It's like a harmony, a symphony, an orchestra. I'm awoken. I'm awoken.
So I did do some creative things in there that I didn't realize was happening, and Toby's like, yo, did you catch that? We had a lot of those moments.
Yeah.
We really did, because the music was just kind of flowing, and it was really fun. It wasn't a labor. And I think I would go to the studio like maybe 6 in the evening after work and be home like 11 or 12, because after 11:45 my husband like, you alright? And I'm like, he doesn't understand. And that was kind of like a twinge of the past of somebody like trying to hold me back, but I had to center myself and not see it as that.
Right, yeah.
Because people who don't understand music don't understand the length of time that it's required to be in a studio. You can spend 4 hours in a conceptual conversation.
Yeah.
This is how the song should go. This is the intention. You got to give it like this. You got to do it like that. You don't just go in and sing. There's kind of like, and so he would do that. He would say, Mama, this is the track, and this is what I was thinking and can you write around that? So all of my songs didn't just come out of thin air. They had a conceptual framework, and I just had to create something based on what he thought he saw.
Yeah.